Hey there! Most of you have probably heard your parents or other boomers say that you should buy a house, build a family, invest in your future, live the dream. Maybe they've told you how they bought their first home at a low price with barely any competition. Sounds amazing, right? But then reality hits. Today, many people can't even afford rent, let alone buy a home. Even homeowners with mortgages are struggling to keep up with payments. You might think this is only happening in your country and consider moving somewhere else, only to find the same problem almost everywhere. So what's actually going on? In this video, we're breaking down why housing has become so expensive, how homeownership turned into a rigged system, who's really benefiting, and whether this trend will ever slow down. Let's get into it. Section 1. When houses stopped being just homes. A few decades ago, buying a house was simply part of life. It meant stability, a place to live, raise a family, and feel secure. It wasn't mainly about making money. In the 1960s, the average home cost about 2 to 3 times a person's yearly salary. That meant someone with a regular job could realistically afford to buy. Some governments even helped families with affordable loans. In the US, for example, the GI Bill supported many veterans in buying homes after World War II. Fast forward to today. In the US, the median home now costs around 5 to 6 times the median household income. In expensive cities, it can go beyond 8 times income. And homes aren't just places to live anymore, they're investment assets. Many older generations bought houses when prices were low and watched their value climb. Some now own multiple properties. Over time, people began viewing houses not just as shelter, but as a way to build wealth. That's why developers often focus on larger, luxury homes. They bring in higher profits, while smaller starter homes slowly disappear. The simple idea of a home changed into something to buy, hold, and resell. And once that shift happened, everything else followed. Section 2. Why prices keep rising even when demand slows. Normally, when fewer people buy something, prices fall. That's basic supply and demand. But housing doesn't always follow that rule. Even when buyers struggle, prices often continue climbing. One major reason is zoning laws. Cities divide land into areas for housing, businesses, factories, and parks. That's normal. But sometimes the rules aren't updated as populations grow. In some neighborhoods, apartments or smaller homes are banned entirely. That limits how many homes can be built, keeping supply tight and prices high. There's also land hoarding. Developers sometimes buy land and wait for prices to rise before building. Instead of increasing supply immediately, they hold on to it for bigger profits later. Construction itself is also slow and expensive. Permits, material costs, labor shortages, weather delays, and even legal disputes can stall projects for years. That's why you sometimes see half-finished buildings sitting untouched. And when developers do build, they often prioritize high-end homes because those generate better returns. Then there are so-called zombie homes. Some properties are purchased by investors and left empty while they wait for prices to rise. These vacant homes reduce available supply and worsen the shortage. Section 3. Your landlord might be a corporation. In the past, landlords were often regular individuals, maybe a retired couple or someone renting out a second property. That still happens, but less often. Today, many rental homes are owned by large corporations. Big investment firms like Blackstone and Invitation Homes own tens of thousands of properties. Some companies own over 100,000 homes. These firms don't buy houses to live in them, they buy them to generate profit. That's one reason rents keep increasing, even when fewer people can afford to buy. And it's not just corporations. About 1 in 4 homes is purchased by investors, including smaller ones. So regular families aren't only competing with each other, they're competing with well-funded buyers who can move quickly and pay cash. Short-term rentals also play a role. Platforms like Airbnb allow owners to rent homes to tourists for short stays. While this can be convenient for travelers, too many short-term rentals reduce housing availability for locals. Cities like Barcelona have seen pushback from residents as housing becomes scarcer and more expensive due to tourism. In conclusion, housing affordability isn't just about high prices. It's about how the entire system evolved. Homes shifted from places to live into investment vehicles. Supply is restricted, prices are driven upward, and large investors often outcompete families. Without deeper reform, the root problems won't disappear. And if you want more explanations on topics like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.